Hi students, welcome to SV Technology. In this video, we are going to discuss about what is data model and what are the types of data model like ER model, object oriented model, relational model, network model, hierarchical model. Before that, please do subscribe to my channel SV Technology. Data models. Data model is a plan or blueprint of a data. It is a graphical model which includes entities, attributes, and relationships among entities, used to describe the logical structure of database. It gives an idea how the final system look like after its completion of implementation. It defines data elements and relationship between data elements, used to show how the data is stored, connected, accessed, and updated in database management system. Here we use set of symbols and text to represent the information. Mainly we have 6 types of data models. In that, first one is ER model, next relational model, object oriented model, hierarchical model, network model, semi-structured model, like this. So we will discuss everything step by step. ER model. ER model is a high-level data model diagram. ER means entity relationship model. It describes the structure of database with the help of diagram which is known as ER diagram. An ER model is a design or blueprint of a database that can be later implemented as database design. Components of ER diagram. Here we have mainly 3 components or basic building blocks of ER model. Those are entity, attribute, and relationship. For example, here we can take a diagram. Actually, we have another separate video regarding to this ER model or ER diagram. Here I am giving brief introduction of 6 models, all 6 models, data models. Here we can take an example of student and college. These two are entities. Student is an entity, college is an entity. Here the property of student ID, student name, and student Aadhaar number, these are the properties of entity are called as attributes. The relationship between the student and college is studied. The relationship is represented by rhombus and the relationship is represented by rhombus and the entity is represented by rectangle and the attribute is represented by ellipse. So here we have to remember these things. Next ER model we are going to do a separate video. In that you will get to know what is what everything. Relational model. So this model was developed by EHAT in 1969. Most widely used data model by a commercial data application nowadays. It uses a collection of tables for representing data and their relationship. Here you have to remember one thing. Here in DBMS, relation means table. Okay. Data is stored in tables called relations. Each table is group of rows and columns. Rows also called as tuple. Okay. Where column represent attribute of an entity. Suppose if we take last diagram, here entities and attributes are represented by rectangle and ellipse. So here in relational model, entity is represented in a table, attributes are the columns, rows are the tuples. Okay. Here we can take an example of a relational model database management system. Here student table. Table is also called as relation as I said earlier. So here we have 3 attributes. Here in ER model, attribute becomes the column in the relational model. Rule number, name and CGPA. So rule number is a primary key. Primary key is always represent ellipse with underline in ER model. Here rule number is represented by underline. So every row is called as tuple or tuple or row. So columns are represented by attributes. Object oriented data model. It is an extension of ER model which has functions, encapsulation and object identity as well. In this, both data and relationships are present in a single structure known as object. Simply, object is a collection of methods which are relationships and data. Two or more objects are connected through a link. We use this link as a relate objects. So to relate to objects, we use a link. That link is called relationship. So here we can see the example of object oriented model. So here employee is an object, department is an object. Employee related data, name, job title, phone number, salary, department ID, etc. And the methods. What are the methods? Get, head, and change number. These two are the methods which is going to played on as well. Okay. Here we are combining both data and their methods. Okay. So department also, department ID, department name are the attributes. Change department is the method. Okay. Here the combination of attributes, data and relations is known as object oriented model. Next, hierarchical data model. It was the first DBMS-Data model. In this, data is organized into tree-like structure where each record is having one parent record and many children. The main drawback of this model is it can have only too many relationships between nodes. The main drawback of this model is it can have only one too many relationships between nodes. Hierarchical models are rarely used now. Now we are going to use mostly relational models. Hierarchical models are going to be used very rarely. For example, we can take here, I have already told that hierarchical data model have a tree-like structure. So for tree we have a root node that is called as a parent node also. For every parent it can have any number of children. So one to many relationship only work out here like this. Next model, network data model. This model is an extension of the hierarchical model. It was the most popular model before the relational model. Network model is the same as hierarchical model except that it has graph-like structure instead of tree, and it allowed to have more than one page. It supports many to many relationships also. For example, we can take this diagram. College has two entities, CSE department and library department. Students have the access to both the CSE department and library department. So this is the structure of network model. The node student has two parent nodes, CSE department and library. It can acquire the properties of CSE department as well as library also. Semi-structured data model. It is an extension of relational model. It allows the data specifications at places where the individual data items of the same type may have different set of attributes. So here we are going to use the XML language to represent the semi-structured data model. This model, some entities have missing some attributes, while other may have extra attributes. Means in this, some entities will have only 2 or 3 attributes, but some entities have more than that. The XML means extensible markup language, is widely used for representing the semi-structured data. Here we can take an example of a student 1 and student 2. In student 1 we have roll number, name, age and branch. But in student 2 we have roll number, name, age, branch and contact. Contact is the extra attribute we have in student 2 which is not present in student 1. That's why I have said that here few attributes are going to be missing in one entity and few entities may have extra attributes. Like this, we are going to define the 6 models, okay, data models, that are ER model, relational model, object oriented model, semi-structured data model, hierarchical model, network model. In next class we are going to learn each and every model in detail. For more videos like this, please do subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. This is signing off, Mahesh, SV Technology.